Hey everyone, welcome back to the M&R show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Malcolm.
And today we will be talking about our NBA Finals recap. In the previous episode, we did a couple things talking about our predictions of who's going to win. So now I'll let Malcolm start with his prediction and how both of these teams move forward.
Hey, now Ron, I told y'all before about Milwaukee and how Milwaukee's winning. We looked at what we posted on Instagram, gave y'all a post and everything. Y'all 17, it was like a lot of folks to Suns and just only like 4 to the Bucks. But at the end of the day, y'all kept on disrespecting Milwaukee throughout these playoffs, where I highly credit them. As you understand, the reason why Milwaukee won this, the series and won the finals is because of Giannis. They live and die from Giannis. The elimination game that he had, it was one of the most dominant games I've ever seen.
For sure.
If you look at what he has done, it's 50 points that he had on the closeout game, tied with Bob Pettit in 1958 for the most in the finals game.
Yeah, so
he was the only player. Exactly. He was the only player in league history with at least 50 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks in the finals game. He's the first player in the past 40 years to have multiple 30-point halves in the single finals. He's the fourth player in NBA history to average at least 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists in a single season, which he was joining Oscar Robertson. And there's so much more to the story, but I just want you to understand how much Giannis dominated into the finals. And it boded well for Milwaukee and their future because Giannis, everybody wanted Giannis to leave because they felt like Giannis didn't have enough credit or did not have enough surrounding him. But I give credit to what credit is due. Chris Middleton, came up in the fourth quarter of the closeout game, but he's been doing good in the series so far.
Yeah.
Actually, he had some like the clutches, point percentages, in a while in the fourth quarter in the finals, which nobody's had. Drew Holiday, even though he struggled shooting, his playmaking and defense on Chris Paul, which I said that was X factors beginning of the series, was a big X factor in them winning the game because the defense that Chris Paul had. Chris Paul was struggling, as the series gone on. So I give major props to Milwaukee. I give major props to Giannis. Giannis has shown that he is solidified as a top 3 player, and Ron needs to understand that because Ron put him out the top 5. But I'm not going to say.
Yeah, I think he was 6 on my preseason poll behind Kawhi.
Exactly. So. Yeah. So I want you to know, and another thing that we post on Instagram was the accolades that Giannis had before the age of 26.
For sure.
He's the first player in NBA history to win the most improved player, the most valuable player, defensive player of the year,
twice.
And finals MVP twice in his career. So just understand that nobody has ever done that before. And Giannis done it all before age 27.
Yep.
He has a Hall of Fame first ballot resume already if he retires. And I think that we should give more respect to Giannis and we should give more respect to the Bucks.
Yeah, first I want to start with why I even picked the Suns in the first place, because Giannis was supposed to have a hyperextended knee. That wasn't a hyperextended knee. That was maybe grade 1, if that. He didn't limp one time. We've all had a sprained knee and we limp. He did not limp one time. Did you see him even look hurt one time?
Maybe in the Atlanta series.
Like the first game of the finals, he had 30. He played like 35 minutes. I'm like, okay, this guy's not hurt. I should have knew that. I mean, of course, he looked a little hurt the first game, but bro, he had 40 the second game. I said, okay, this guy is literally 100% back. So let's start there. Maybe if we knew, okay, this is a healthy versus healthy matchup, because I guess they lost Dario Saric on the Suns, but the Bucks were playing without DiVincenzo this whole playoffs, which people have glossed over like he's not a starting guard in the NBA. So let's not forget that as well. So, I mean, again, very surprised with Giannis. I'm not surprised because, I mean, again, like you say, he's a top 5 player in the NBA. He's never really hurt. The hyperextended knee was kind of fluky. Clearly, it didn't even affect him, really. The reason why now I probably would put him over a Kawhi or an AD is because of health. Like, he's just healthier than them. Not even skill set. We can get into that long term, but you have to be available. He's very available. Mm-hmm. Literally just that simple. He's done that. He was the best offensive and defensive player in the series. You win Finals MVP like that. It's just that simple. He literally was giving me very 2016 LeBron James vibes. With it down 2-0, like LeBron was down 3-1, and you literally dominated every single game. Chris Middleton did have some good games as well. So did Drew Holiday. But the best player on the floor was Giannis. It was unquestionable. He was the best player. Now, moving on to the Suns, Chris Paul, some slow games. Started good, middle kind of rough, ended well, but just didn't result in a win. But you ended well. But at the end of the day, you can't lose 4 straight games in the finals, bro. It's not even that this went to game 6, it's that you lost 4 straight. So it's not like you didn't get swept, but it felt like it because you literally basically you lost 4 games in a row, 2 at home, 2 in a row. Absolutely can't happen. I don't care who you are. And you face a non-super team. You face a team that doesn't have any finals experience. So there's literally no excuse. Like I get this is like the Golden State Warriors of old. Like, of course they lose. But this is the Bucks team is good, but they were a 3 seed. They have their flaws. If you're a good enough team, you can still beat this team. Now what they didn't run against Giannis was they didn't use that wall tactic that's been being used for years. They didn't use that one time. They were doing a lot of switching. They had Aiden and Crowder on them. That was where most of his shot attempts were. So that was interesting to me, just that long.
I understand that, but then again, you had to understand that they did use some of it, but the fact is that when Milwaukee started making their shots, that's when you had to, either the more switching and hope to God that things go well. I give Monty Williams so much credit of what he has done in the playoffs, let alone this whole season.
He did a great job, I think.
I've been giving him credit ever since he was in Phoenix. The fact that Phoenix made a very good hire with Monty Williams.
For sure.
One thing that I have to look at the Suns is, yes, we have to talk about Chris Paul because at the end of the day, Chris Paul came off high and he cooled down. And
36.
Exactly. And then there were some moments in the fourth where we're just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But at the end of the day, we have to understand that Chris Paul, I think this will be the last time we see Chris Paul in the finals. And this is the first time we see Chris Paul in the finals.
First and last.
And I talked about this on my podcast. I just said that how, we expect so much of Chris Paul and the talent, and we judge other players, but why are we not judging Chris Paul?
Yeah, it's just, he's such a tricky eval. Luckily for him, he has longevity. If he did not have longevity, this would not look good on him. Like literally, he's gonna be probably put over like possibly like an Isaiah or Nash or Westbrook, some of the players based on maybe just longevity. But somehow Westbrook sneaks away, goes to the Lakers, it's like this on the rumor wire, and gets a ring. Guess what? Who people are gonna put him over? Chris Paul, because the stats are already better. Let's just be real. The stats are better. Like if you're like a casual, you just don't really watch basketball, you're like, oh, Westbrook, like his stats look better than Chris Paul's in every category, from even assists to points to rebounds to even probably steals, to be honest. So literally, the stats are going to look better. He kind of has to get some leg to get over a player like a Westbrook, or like I said, I think he's over Nash again because Nash longevity is not as good as Chris Paul's. And Isaiah Thomas has 2 rings, so that's for the people that just like, oh, really value the ring. That just puts him over him. So Chris Paul, what are you going to do? Is he going to re-sign in Phoenix? They're supposed to be offering him a 3-year max deal. They're insane if they offer that deal based on what they saw. But at the same time, what else they do? Sign Ricky Rubio back. So it's just like this is almost like you feel terrible almost, because this is really, really giving me 2020 Miami Heat vibes, where you might be out in the first round next year.
Yeah.
Phoenix, that's my take.
They really hit their ceiling last year. They really did. I mean, it's crazy as a Sun organization to be like, dang, we hit our ceiling that quickly. But they have a tough decision coming up with Chris Paul and his contract situation. Chris Paul does have options if you go out in free agency, but the thing is that Phoenix offers him his best chance of getting back to the finals. And to be honest, Phoenix next year won't be considered the favorites.
Nah,
I'm not considered the second favorite. Exactly, they won't be the top 3 favorites because you got a healthy Warriors coming back. You got a healthy Lakers.
I'm not giving them top 4 and forgot about the Warriors.
Exactly. So you have some teams coming back that I think that the Suns, I'm not gonna say they can't beat them, but it would be a lot harder to win like they did before.
Jamal Murray will be back. They still, I think, playing 5 or 6 games with the Nuggets or something like that. Jokic was getting off.
Most definitely. But the point is that I like to see what the Suns organization did. They did a very good job. That's one thing I'm not gonna discredit them about. Monty Williams is still there, so at the end of the day, you still have a very good coach, one of the top coaches in the Western Conference, to be honest with you. And you still have Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, who play fairly well with each other. So you still have a solid core. And if they be able to add a piece as a one guard, do free agency or keep Chris Paul, they still will be a very competitive team, which we haven't seen for the Phoenix Suns in forever. And to be honest, as a Phoenix Suns fan, I'm satisfied. I went to the finals where I thought that I would not go to the finals in my lifetime. I went there, And now that the next year I'm going to the playoffs, I'm satisfied. I'm finally seeing competitive Phoenix Suns basketball that I've been waiting for since the Steve Nash days. So there's positive things to take out of that, is what I'm trying to say with the Phoenix Sun organization, especially on their side.
Yeah, before I finish my last thing on Phoenix, Devin Booker, some good overall playoffs for a first timer. Clearly has things to work on with the efficiency, all that stuff. But he did way better than even I expected. As a volume scorer, which is basically his role in this team, he did that role. Like he was a volume scorer. Like that's what the team wants him to do. Now, for him to get on like a Zach LaVine-esque efficiency, that'd be nice. But again, it's playoff defenses. They didn't play. What scared me about things that they played all hurt teams. The only team that wasn't hurt, they lost to. They lost 4 in a row to. Like they played the Lakers without Anthony Davis. They played the Nuggets without Jamal Murray. They played the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. So like you're never going to get this. Like this was your season. That's scary to me as a Suns fan. But like you said, Monty Williams did a heck of a job, I would say. So I give him props on that. And now where I think Milwaukee will be next season, I think they'll be in title contention. I don't know if they're the favorite next year or not. It's really based on this Kyrie and James Harden's legs and Durant's legs last, literally. Because are they healthy or not healthy? Can we count them to be healthy? No. So like, do you bet money on that? Probably not. But do you say it maybe out loud for free? Possibly. So, it's really based on that. So I think they're a contender though. All you need is one person to go down, which we see what happens this year with Milwaukee. We thought they would in the water. One person goes down. Literally, that's all it takes. So you just have to kind of be competitive long enough. We've seen it happen. Even the Raptors 2 years ago, it took one person to go down for a championship. And again, you see when they traded, people said they overpaid for Drew Holiday. He didn't play the best, but would they win the championship with Eric Bledsoe? 100% no. So this is why if you want to go all in, I can't beat you up for going all in on a good player. I can't, because at least you tried. I'd rather you at least try than just completely, unless you're like, trying to rebuild. But if you're not trying to rebuild, go all in. That's so this is clearly another example of that. This is the third in a row where the Raptors went all in. The Lakers went all in with a trade. Now this is the third team. So clearly, to the championship, you got to trade for somebody or sign a big free agent. Clearly.
Yeah. All I gotta say is Milwaukee's looking up from here. One thing I've always talked about with Giannis is he gets better every single year, and that's one thing too. He looked dominant in the playoffs without even having to use his jumper. But like I said, he's been working on that jumper, and when that jumper falls, you better watch out. It's gonna be scary. It's definitely gonna be scary. Scary hours. That's been scary hours.
Literally now, yeah. So, RIP bag Twitter. I mean, RIP. That was a hell of a night for bag Twitter. No one was there to be found. Giannis has no bag. No one. That's the greatest final game I've ever seen in closeout game in my life of 21.
Exactly.
There, as a LeBron fan, as somebody likes Iverson, to the Kobe's, to watching the '96 Bulls. No one had a 50-point closeout game with 14 rebounds and 5 blocks. No one has done that. Literally the best closeout game in probably NBA history, to be exact.
17. Yeah, I say 17 from 19 from the free throw line.
Oh yeah, that is that's for a whole other day of how. I mean, that's probably fluky, but look, bad. Make them when you have to make them. You can say what you want to say, but look, I don't care. You can go 0 for 100. You win 70-18 in the closeout game. Yo,
that's superstar. That's a superstar.
That's really all that matters. Like, as a LeBron fan, we wish LeBron goes 17, 18 from the damn line. I mean, it's been a while, so I get it. So that was, but that again, that's just Giannis though. We know, like you say, Malcolm said, he gets better every year. He's a hard worker, so you're never going to question effort with this guy. Now, other players, great players, but like, are they going to be hurt? Probably. Are they going to try as hard? This is literally like, we literally see Anthony Davis hurt every year. Sometimes he's not trying as hard in games, but then we see this type of guy and a Westbrook and a Garnett just go hard every time they're on the court. So those type of players, you just know you're going to give them all. But anyway, that's my last thing.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say, but congratulations to Milwaukee Bucks. Congrats. Y'all, a long time.
1971.
It's been 50 years since they won a championship. And not that over 50 points.
That means the Wizards are next. Remember, the 70s, the Wizards won, the Bucks won. I'm waiting on that.
Let's just end the show. Let's end the show.
Anyway, make sure to subscribe to us and like and comment on YouTube at M&R Show.
Hey, thanks for the support, guys. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at Malc and Ron Show. We have a lot of posts, different things, different things to look at, and different things to talk about in the sports world. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right.
See y'all.